believe, but it has been nearly a quarter of a century since the first homeowners moved into the villages of Kapolei.
And the final RFP, a request for proposal, has gone out to build on the final vacant lot there. But some residents complain all is not rosy in the second city, caught in the middle of a state-city dilemma. This story's all new tonight at 6. The villages of Kapolei was an ambitious affordable housing plan from the beginning. With projects of this size, bumps in the road are inevitable. Now, more than 4,000 homes and units later, the bumps in the road still remaining are actual bumps.
The one that comes right out from Walmart, I forget the name of that street. It has areas where just big patches, and you wished that you had a pogo stick to leap over them.
Some of those first streets in Kapolei haven't been repaved since they were built in the late 1980s.
There's pot marks, there's spider veins, there's places that have been patched over so many times. It's like a waffle type situation. We're reminded of it every time I go to work. I drive on it, it's just like a rumple strip, you know, and it's, you know, so. To me, it's unacceptable.
Why hasn't the city repaved these streets? Because they're not city streets. They haven't been deeded over yet. The state's Housing Finance Development Corporation developed the villages and still maintains them. It goes back to 1988, with then Governor John Waihee administration's push for affordable housing. State lawmakers approved Act 15, which allowed the state to develop housing projects without going through county review and approval.
Well, you know, Paul, it's a glaring example of how important it is for the counties and the state to work closely together. And obviously this is what's happened here, is that the state decided to basically trump the county's powers, and consequently the residents of the villages of Kapolei have had to suffer with bad streets that are not maintained.
You wanted to be able to put an agency together that would get in, do the job, get out, and move on. I think there was a little bit of short-sightedness as to what was going to happen after the homes were all built and who was going to take over.
According to its most recent annual report, HHFDC has spent more than $117 million in developing the villages of Kapolei and at least $13 million in maintenance. That's everything from streets to light poles and landscaping. But the state agency needs to follow the procurement process before anything can get fixed.
Street lights. You know, the state has to package those before they get them done. Signage falling off gets dangerous at times. Our frustrations have been, how long is it going to take? We've been talking about it for a long time.
Residents' frustrations boiled over in a recent City Council Zoning Committee meeting.
There needs to be a compromise so you guys can take over those roads, okay? We pay our taxes. Get it through your heads. We pay our taxes.
And oftentimes, you know, when you have these squabbles between the city and state, as we all know, when all is said and done, the taxpayer doesn't care who takes care of it. They pay their taxes on both sides. They just want the result. And I think that's a fair expectation for the taxpayer to have.
Now, Senator Gabbard says he's been pushing for the state and city to speed things up a bit. HHFDC has hired an engineering consultant to coordinate the dedication efforts. Their primary focus is evaluating the conditions of the sewers and the drains. They say the roads can't be repaved until any repairs there are finished, and then it's handed over to the city. HHFDC has budgeted $35 million just to get the villages ready for dedication.